Okay guys, we're down here at Kowalski's Auctions. My man Diego got hold of me today and he basically said that we've got some special cars coming up through the auction house and you might have to come down here and check these out. Now I've bought all of my money with me because, hey, at the end of the day, if they've got some decent stuff down here and I might have to buy it myself, then the money is going to flow. I think today's auction is going to be good. I haven't checked out the listings yet. But man, we're going up for this. I'm actually excited because when Diego phones me, that's it. It's genuinely going to be an exciting day. I'm Hybridsteel. I run this ragtag garage where we fix and restore all cars, shapes and sizes. This is Rusty Nuts Garage. So we need to go into the scrapper because there's nothing else on that listing. It's Oh, I actually have a customer for one. He said if I could ever find one, I should buy it. I mean, it's ruined, but it's a DeLorean. Dude, oh my god. Okay, I'm gonna have to phone him up. Yep, give me a minute. Hey, Mark. Yo, dude. You know you said like I've got as much time as I want to find you the DeLorean, the Back to the Future legend. Yeah. I found one. I don't know how much it's going to cost to do, but are you still interested? Awesome. All right, okay. Cheers, man. I will, yeah. This will be done. I'm going to pick this up now, okay? Give us a couple of weeks. All right. Cheers, man. Thank you. Bye. Mark's just confirmed that he would want this car. It doesn't matter if it's condition and so on and so forth. He's willing to pay. And when I say willing to pay, his budget for this is $200,000. Now, it's not going to cost that much to do. I know this. He's giving me the leeway. Obviously, we're going to have to rip the engine apart because it's absolutely staggered. It's seen better days, let's put it that way. But this is iconic. We've got ourselves a 1983 DeLorean DMC-12. See ya, man. So we're back. So this is Mark's DeLorean. It's yet to be desired, let's put it this way. But I'm going to be honest. By the time I'm finished with it, it's going to be special. Me and the boys at Rusty Nuts Garage here, we're going to have this back to gleaming 1983 status. Almost like it was the day it rolled off the factory. So let's get it inside and then let the work begin. Okay, so we're working on the DeLorean. We've stripped it down already, so we've taken the body panel off. I had Steve and I've had Danny work on the interior and the exterior. It's back from the shop and it's looking straight. Now we do need to take the interior out because, well, you know, if this is going to be a time machine, all this has to be changed as well. So we're going to take the steering wheel out. We're going to take the seats out. We're just going to basically gut this again. So when it comes to putting the new interior in, it's going to look good as well. So we need to take this out. Then the next big job is to, unfortunately, take the car apart. Where it's going to get a little bit more dodge. As you can see, a lot of this car is rusted to boot. And there's a lot of it that we need to take apart. I mean, this is the problem with buying junk cars. But it's for a good customer. It's good, and we got to find these rims as well. That's going to be the harder part, trying to find those rims. They haven't really been made for a very long time, apart from special people who do this sort of thing just to make this car for fans. So I'm going to get Danny on the phone because he's basically got nothing to do and we're taking this thing apart. And I'm going to get him on the phone to try and find a supplier for these rims because the rims, in fairness, are I would say one of the things that matches the car through. I mean, you can have different styles on DeLorean because there's obviously 3 different films. The DeLorean changes per film. Guys down at the shop have been working their butts off stripping this motor down just to get this car going. We found another set of rims actually from a company who make resto mods for the DeLorean, so we're going to be sorted on that as well because the rims are really hard to get hold of. So we've got those on order. We're not sure when they're going to turn up. I suppose they'll turn up at some point. The rest of the car we're going to break down, try and repair as much as we can, and worst comes to worst we have to buy new parts. The bodywork is going to be harder, but we do have a company already lined up who supply the bodywork. So all we've got to do is order the ones we want, and that comes down to a little bit of a select choice. But anyways, let's get back into this, and then let's get this car really moving forward. Use equipment. Wow, that stuff is black. Right. No offense, it's just really rot, the oil that was. Bed goes up, bed goes down. We're now waiting for a new shell to be bought in from the restorers who specialise in doing DeLoreans. And then we've got to wait for the rims. And we've got, actually, in fairness, we don't have to wait for them. We've got to order them because we haven't done that yet. So we're getting there, just slowly but surely. We are really, it's taking its time, let's put it that way. And yeah, there's a lot in this that we're going to be trying so hard to get this right because, you know, Mark's a good guy. I want to do good by him. So this car's a little bit different from what we would normally put together. So how we're going to do this is we're going to be doing all the bottom structure, the cross member, the tyres, the rims, and all the other stuff that we have to put on the bottom. Then we're actually going to put the engine back in first. And the reason why is because the bodywork is fairly unique. There's a lot of like fiddly bits. Obviously, like if you go look at the actual DeLorean, where you got the fins coming off the back, which are the boosters, and you got the power. We need to put everything in first. Then we need to put the wires in, and basically just plug them into the actual car itself. So that's why we've done just a complete shell strip down. This is now ready for everything we need it to be done. It's cleaned in the inside. The body is literally 100%. We're all good. Well, the frame's 100%. The interior's 100%. The parts and the body is 1% because, well, it still exists. That's what we're getting at. Basically, we're just going to stick it all back together now, but we've got a lot of work to do, so, yeah. Alright, cool. So I'm going to get Jeff to strip that down. I'm going to go and do some repairing on the parts. I'll probably bring in Steve as well to come and help me with some of the repairing work. But we're now just waiting for deliveries. I've got to strip down the rim, strip down the suspension, make sure we've got all the parts on order. It's going to be fun, but this is the joys of restoration here, isn't it? It's like, yay, we're all good. Now we're putting things back together. So what we've got the long list to do. We've got to strip the engine, we've got to repair all the parts, we've got to wait for a set of rims to come through when we order those in. At the moment, we're doing the brake lathing. It just means that we can recycle the brakes, save us a little bit of money, because with the customized bodywork, and I'm not going to lie when I say the DeLorean's bodywork is not cheap. Now, to put this into perspective, if you look at this, when you look at the resto parts, just for windows alone, it's $4,000 for the slightly tinted glass. Now, the reason why we went with the tinted glass over just, well, bog standard glass is, this car's going to be driven around in California, so sunshine, it's legal tint, it's all good. So you can put like standard windows on this if you really want, but I think, with the DeLorean, trying to make it a little bit more stylish, a little bit more modern, bringing it up to date with the 21st century, a little bit of tint, it won't go that badly. We'll see how things go, because I've got to be honest, I'm actually looking forward to seeing how this comes out, because this is our second like movie prop style car that we've done, and I want this to be as good as the Trans Am was. So, proper right down to the pint. Alright, okay, so that's the brakes lathed. Now what we're going to do is Jeff's going to strip, he's going to have to strip this down because this needs to be stripped, and then we can start repairing everything and making sure. So I've just got to go and find Jeff quick. Jeff? Jeff? Are you out? Oh, you're here. Oh, cool, man. Can you get down to stripping the DMC down, the engine? Yeah, it's on the stand for you. It's all ready to go. All you have to do is just rep it down. We'll put a shopping list together. We'll get all the parts brought over. Because, yeah, I know, mate. Leave that one for now. We're messing with the Evo later, but do this one now, and then we'll do the Evo later. The Evo's a different project, man. That's side project. We've got plans for that. Alright? Cool, man. Thank you very much. Now comes stripping down the engine. There isn't a lot of solid stuff left on this block, it's all fairly rusty, but we have a very, very skilled refabricator, and at the end of the day, making new parts for this isn't too bad, but we're going to try and repair as much as we can. We're going to try lathing, we're going to try sanding, we're just going to try anything to make this less money than we have to spend. Reason why is, once you start spending money on these sorts of cars, you end up spending a lot of money on this sort of car, and restoring a DeLorean is slightly more difficult, because the problem with the engine is that if you don't have the part, it costs lots more to get it in. It's not a cheap engine to build, and especially for a cult classic like this, we want to be doing this by the book. If we can restore it, we'll put it back in. This car will be complete by the time I finish this, and it's all good. I need to go and do a load of repairing. And then we need to make a massive shopping list because we've got a lot to buy. Well, actually, I say there's a lot of sports cars do this as well. Like the back wheel is like 1 inch bigger than the front wheel. So as you can see on our parts list, we've got like one really good one. We got one really good one, but they're both different sizes. So the 15 inch goes on the back, the 14 inch goes on the front. So we need one rim of each. We weren't able to repair these, which sucked. But you know, it's the joys of doing restoration. Sometimes some things just can't be done. So we need two 14-inch rims and then two 15-inch. So these are the seats that the company are recommending we buy because they're the closest thing you can actually get to the DMC seat without really being too far away from. So we're going to stick with the steering wheel they've provided on the list as well. These are all parts we have to source ourselves because at the end of the day, you know, we're the ones building it. We're taking our list from them and just hoping that everywhere's got supplies. Like I said, they're the guys that are making the body kit. They're the guys that are making the rims. It's basically a kit for this car. They're actually licensed to do it, which is quite cool. I'm going to make a big parts list. We're going to order in a load of stuff, and then we've actually basically got to order an entire car in, basically, because there's a lot of it that we need to replace. But we'll see how things go. Cool. He's done it again. Jeff has knocked this out the park, and I'm going to say this is a beautifully clean engine. Now, obviously, we had to repair as much as we could. That's what we do over here at Rusty Nuts. It's basically where we repair as much as we can so it takes some of the cost away from our overheads and stuff. At the end of the day, it's better to try and renovate these cars instead of getting brand new stuff put in because it gets expensive after a while, especially when you're looking at something like this. Now, the bodywork has just turned up. It's all in storage. It's all ready to be unwrapped and put on. Now, it has to be put on in a very specific way because when it comes to, if you look at the original DeLorean with the wires that go down the side and into the back of the flux capacitor and all the other stuff, we're going to have to do this like front to back and just basically make sure that everything is folded in exactly how it is. The rims are on their way. I just got a phone call from them and they basically said they are literally on their way. They left the depot this morning, should be here in the next couple of hours. So now we're just going to mount the engine in. The rim should turn up. The body panels are here. We are almost done. But this definitely needs to be tested. I just need to make sure that it all works. And apart from that, yeah, this is becoming one of those really amazing projects I'm really proud of doing. Okay, let's install the engine. The proud moment dropping in. As you can see, very clean. That is the engine. We need to raise it up and attach the gearbox to it again. Yeah, we're getting there. It's definitely taking shape now. Steve, can you call us Skip? We've got all those parts that need to be thrown. We just can't get, man. Alright, yeah, I think they're Cubs ones. The number's in my office, right on my, next to the computer. Cheers, man. If you give them a ring, say that we need it in the next couple of days, and then we can just bung everything in there. It definitely needs to be done because we've just got way too many parts to deal with right now. And then here comes the spoiler. This is what I needed straight up. Just to make this that pure classic. So we got the rear license plate with the California out of time license plate. Now we're changing it up in the middle as well. Now at the front, obviously we could just stick with that, or we can stick with one of these. This is the license plate from Back to the Future 2 because apparently they work on barcode. So I don't think it's ever going to go away as a cult classic. I genuinely have this feeling that this car is going to be around for, well, forever. I don't think it'll ever be forgotten. Even though it was a failed design, popularity was really bad for this car until the film came out. Until Back to the Future came out, the Back to the Future made this car. It really did. Right, let's get this over to number 2 so we can sit it outside so we can actually have a look at it. And there we are. I've just got off the phone with Mark. He's quite happy to pay whatever. He sent me over his invoice. I've sent him over all the work we've done on this car. I've got the delivery ready. It's going to go up on the shop. And what we have done to this car, just to run through, we basically did a full overhaul of the engine. So we've done a full overhaul of the engine. We got hold of the movie prop company that makes these kits to actually put on this car, because this is for Back to the Future 1, 2, and 3. Obviously, in Back to the Future, you know, different things have happened to the rims over time and so on and so forth when it comes to like different films. So you have to take into consideration is like which film do you really want to focus on. You can actually do this in gold. You can do this with a wide boy kit. You can do quite a lot of stuff with the DeLorean nowadays, but obviously this is the old school, so this is what this car should really look like. And obviously this comes from Back to the Future 2, the rest of it is like Back to the Future 1, the neons come from 2 as well. And if we really wanted to go down that whole route of like Back to the Future 3 just solely, we would have to replace the hood, put in that battery module to actually make the time capacitor go backwards to the west. Then we have to change the tyres, because the tyres in 1950 were the red rimmed ones in the middles instead of the wired frame sort of ones that we have on this. And at the end of the day, it would have been a little bit more of a ball ache. But I think this sums up the whole of Back to the Future in just one car. It's just a cool car. Now, like I said, aside all the problems this car did have when it first came out, and it was a bit of a cruddy car, for cult classic collectors out there, this car is just one of those things. You just have to own it, I think. Or you just have to admire it from where we are standing. But there you go, we were sort of true to the build. Everything, I'm pretty sure, is done. And we are good. And we're going to make 93,000 from this. This car is worth 102,000 to Mark. We're 100 grand under his budget because he gave us 200,000 bit for it. I'm going to be honest, it was definitely worth the time, and it was definitely worth everything. It was just cool. Why is my phone going off? Hold on. Hello? Larry? What have you got in there? Alright, dude, I'm going to be right over. Alright, cheers, man. Thank you. Guys, I'll see you all in the next episode.